Tough if you're not. Just from a phone.
That's it. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Welcome to a wee bit of disorganised. But we're here. Everybody's here. Our guest tonight coming by is Nadine, and she's joined tonight by Kristen. See, I got it right. The reason I say that is I'm messing up. Right? And we get Jennifer for our USA team, Sarah and Laura as well.
Oh, I waved at her. Hi, Jennifer. Not special, okay?
Ah, I know. And then you got that
Let's everybody wave to Jennifer. There we go.
Oh my god!
Hello, Jennifer.
I know. I've been incognito for a while.
And that's you all embarrassed. So, Nadine and Kristen are from Sundown. Start again.
Sundown Paranormal.
Sundown Paranormal UK. Nadine was about, I don't know, about a month ago. But we decided since it's coming up to Christmas, we'll get her back in for a wee pre-Xmas chat. And she managed to get the lovely Kristen in. So some of you haven't met her before. So I'll let Nadine and Kristen do a bit of talking about who they are, all the usual toys and whistles.
The usual bells and whistles.
Bells and whistles.
We're paranormal investigators. We've had our team just over a year now. But obviously, we've had things to do with the paranormal. Well, I have most of my life. Kristen can answer for herself. Go on, Kristen.
I'm the camera woman.
I'm the camera woman. I'm the founder. Kristen's a co-founder, and Sam's a co-founder.
Yeah.
So she's a camera woman. That's all there is to it.
I'm the camera woman.
I'm just a camera woman.
I'm not very good at these things.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne, Stephen, and Mr. Murphy. You and I shall talk after the live.
Hi,
We shall
Stephen.
talk after the live. That's all I'm saying. I'll explain after the live, Jen.
I might have some interesting things to talk to Andy about actually during this live.
Yeah, I will.
Check the scroll bar. Check the scroll bar. Sorry.
Have you? It's entirely up to yourself, Nadine. If Andy's no busy, I can get him up in the panel and we can slag him off then. I mean, we can talk to him.
If he wants to
I don't know
talk.
if he's busy making up another post or no. But anyway.
You'll need to ask Nadine if that's okay since it's all.
That's right. It's okay,
Yeah.
Nadine.
Yeah, well, it might take the limelight away from me a little bit, but okay.
Can you see that? He's no dress. Underpants on. No, I mean, it's easy, he would, but he's no dress for it.
Show a t-shirt on, nobody sees the background.
He's probably getting underpants and Wellington boots on.
No, that's you.
Yeah.
Look at Jennifer.
No, I'm just wanting to say, put your pants on, Andy.
Yeah, exactly, Andy. We've seen it. We've seen the proof.
Oh, she did. She knows, doesn't she? So, Kristen, you work behind the camera most of the time. How did you get involved in the paranormal? What kind of started it for you?
Well, I always used to watch paranormal shows with Nadine, and we thought that a lot of them seem like there's a lot of fake stuff in the paranormal shows, so we thought that we'd go investigate for ourselves and find out for ourselves. And I said I'd like to be the camera woman, because I thought I'd probably be more better at the camera work.
She's a good little investigator as well.
I do the odd solo, and I'll go in the room by myself and I'll do ask questions with the cat balls and stuff.
Because Kristen's not scared of anything. She's not. You're just like, oh, see that dark alley there with all the demons and ghosts and stuff in? You want to go down it? She's like, yeah, I'll go on my own. I'm not bothered.
But I'm scared of horror films, though. For some reason, I'm scared of horror films, but I'm not scared of the paranormal. It doesn't make sense, but there we are.
I've spoken to a few people over so many months, and some of them says, and no disrespect to them, but they've said to me, I can't stand horror films. I can't watch a horror film but I'm a paranormal investigator. And I've never been able to work that one out, you know.
I know.
You go hunting in graveyards and castles, wherever, but you'll not sit at home and watch a horror film. Sarah's the same.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either.
All right, it turns out Laura's the same as well then, doesn't it? So you...
But I'm in the wrong job though. I don't like ghosts. I don't like the cold. I don't like the dark. I don't like horror films. I don't like the rain.
I'm scared of the dark. I am 100% scared of the dark, and that's true, isn't it, Kristen?
Yeah.
Yay! Someone else who has the same fear I have. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nyctophobians, unite.
Yes, exactly. I think the thing is with horror films are specifically designed to be as scary as possible.
Yeah.
With jump scares and noises and stuff like that. But there's not really that when you're investigating the real paranormal so much. Well,
Yeah, I agree with
not
Nadine.
music, is there? And jump scares.
It's the
and
jump
stuff.
scares
I
that
think
get
that's the
me.
thing.
I don't like them, and I don't like the music. The music. It's just
And I personally, I love horror films. I love supernatural horror films, but I can't watch gory horror films.
You don't like the
No,
blood and guts?
for you.
I don't think there's a lot of good horror films out there, but I always think the best horror films is when somebody loses a limb.
No,
You know.
it's the
What?
noise. It's the noise. Bones break. The bones snap and stuff. I can't walk.
To fair it with the head. It's always fun when the head comes off, you know. That's just me. You know, I like to see I'm kind of too many true horror films twist the truth way too much. No, that's right, Andy. I mean, you know, like you should look at Amityville and all the rest of it. But a good horror film is a good story and somebody losing an appendage of some description.
Like Slasher.
You know, and that happened, man.
Like Slasher.
Slasher on Netflix, that was amazing.
I like the story
Yeah.
in Slasher. I don't like the gory bits though. But I like the storyline.
There's so many people get butchered on Slasher. Out here, come down, Sky. I watched this day. I watched the three of them. I think there's three of them. I loved them. Absolutely, especially the one you see me. The two coppers are driving away, and he shoots one of them, and he sets the other one on fire and shoves them back in the car and stuff. Brilliant. That was the guy was a nut job.
You're a psychopath.
Oh, it was good. It was good. He puts the copper back in the motor and sets him on fire, and then just walks away like smoking a cigarette. You know.
And now anyone
But that's just
watching that
marketing.
wanted to watch that film doesn't need to watch that film because Scott's just ruined it for you.
told the entire story.
Nah, he didn't ruin anything. Not much to ruin.
There's a lot of in it that are quite gory and get in there, especially the Saw films as well. I love the Saw
Hi,
films.
Gail.
You know, hey Gail, she left here not that long ago. She came up to scare us, Gail did. So basically, amongst our whole panel tonight, we get people who don't like horror films, don't like ghosts, don't like graveyards, don't like the cold.
Oh my
In
gosh.
the dark.
No, I like the cold. I like ghosts. I like horror films. I
like horror films, just not gore. I like ghosts. I hate the cold.
Oh,
I don't mind the cold too much.
It's cold out there today. It's trying to snow.
I see a cat in the background.
Oh, my cat.
Welcome to the panel, the cat.
I didn't know she was in the room.
Oh, she's adorable.
Thank you. You aren't supposed to be in here. Oh crap. Okay.
My cat's sleeping next to me on his bed.
I also looked down. There's another cat also in here that you can't see. What the hell? Go away.
Steve says there's ghosts behind you, Jennifer.
Well, her name happens to be Banshee, so
Technically, there's something paranormal behind her, but it's not a ghost.
wow.
So anyway, getting back to being kind of nice about for 5 minutes even. So you used to watch all the ghost shows, etc., and then you were out, you know, behind the camera and investigating. How did you find it compared to the sort of ghost shows you seen on telly when you were out there doing it in real life?
I found it a lot more interesting than watching the shows, like actually seeing it for yourself.
So obviously these ghost shows, they run for about 40, 45 minutes. But, you know, you can be investigating for, I don't know, hours, basically. Would you say that a real investigation is nothing like a ghost show?
What do you mean, like our investigations, like different from a ghost show?
Excuse me.
I think with the ghost shows, you've got all their evidence, or as much evidence as they can fit into that 45 minutes. Whereas when you're going out by yourself, you get stay there as long as you want, get as much evidence as you want, and look back through as much evidence as you want. And when you're putting it on the internet, you're not time limited, you're not condensed into 45 minutes, so you can show people as much as you like.
Oh yeah, because some of our videos are like 2 hours long, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever done tour. Well, we've been investigating, but I don't think we've done the proper video. Most of the places we go, we can't get a signal, so we end up having to record it. I think there's only 2 locations we could go to where we're actually guaranteed an actual signal.
See, we've only.
So have you ever had
some lag here. I think that we've only been doing the live videos recently. Normally we set up cameras and film that way. So it's mind you, we were on live for 4 hours when we were at the Royal Arcade the other week.
I thought it was longer than that. It felt longer than that.
It was about 4 hours, 20 minutes. While we're at the arcade. But we like to do, like, on Sunday, me and Sam went out to the abandoned rectory and we did a live then. That was about an hour and a half. But then we went back on Wednesday and we filmed a proper investigation. So we still got to look through all that. So I like to do it both ways. So I suppose if you're doing it live, then of course signal matters. But if you're going to film it on your cameras and bring it back, then there's no time limit really.
Andy's got a question up for you. Do you go out to film with an idea of a video in mind, or do you let the footage dictate the video?
You go out and film the idea of a video? No, we just go out and what happens, happens.
Yeah.
We don't, no plan, there's no plot, we get there, we see how we feel. We like walk around the location, see where we feel areas, and then we just go with the flow and see what happens. There's no structure at all to our investigations. It's just like, oh, let's do this.
If it's a place we've been before, and we've had activity in a certain area, we'll put a camera there and leave it filming to see if it captures anything.
Like the other day at the rectory, when during the live, we got a voice through on the spirit box saying, I'm a demon. And Sam says, if you're a demon, touch the pony, the REM pony. And then literally like a few seconds later, the REM pony falls over. And then we went back on Wednesday when we were filming. I asked, I said, if you last time we were here, you said you're a demon. Could you tell me what kind of demon you are? And the spirit box comes through, says Marbus. But we wouldn't have known to ask those questions if we hadn't been there already. Do you know? So I think it just, like Kristen said, it depends if we've been there or not.
Yeah.
Because if we have been there, obviously there's some kind of structure because we have an idea of where we need to go or what we need to do.
Had activity before.
Yeah. But if it's a clean investigation we've never been to, then it's just non-structured. Go around, see where we feel.
Yeah.
I'll go come back to that demon back there. I was hoping that Jennifer could give us a wee sort of, because I know she's got quite intelligent that way. But I've got a question for you from Casey and Lucy. Now, Casey and Lucy. Casey is Gail's daughter, and they were up here earlier on with Lucy, who's Gail's niece. The two of them are absolute little angels. We wish they could have stayed longer, but unfortunately, they had to leave. So they're asking what your biggest fear is.
Pigeons.
Oh,
No,
the dark.
you.
The dark. I am phobic of the dark to the point where it is actually a phobia. Like, I sleep with the light on. It's really bad. So the dark, yeah. Even though I'm a paranormal investigator, I know it makes no sense. But yeah, the dark.
So how do you cope?
Kristen?
Also, I've watched a few investigations and you're out in graveyards and stuff in the middle of the night, whatever. And how do you cope with the dark then?
I think there's people there I know I'm safe with. You know, so if something did happen and I did get scared, then I've always got a torch in my pocket. So I have the option of being in the light if I need to. Or there's Kristen always there, or Sam's always there, and the people I trust are there to, like, so I feel protected, I suppose.
Best way I agree, you can tell around with an idea of mine because it's trying to make the footage fit, even if it doesn't. That's very true. Look, get back to the demon bit.
Repeat that.
He kind of rambled through it.
No.
He said the best way, I agree with Andy. Andy was saying the best way, I agree with that. You can tell a video that went out with any idea in mind because they try to make the footage fit even if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I hate this whole, I think I said this last time I was on the live, or I said it on my live with Spokane Ghost Crew, that I hate when people go into a place, right? So say, for example, Mary died in this hospital, right? Thousands of people have died in this hospital, but Mary died viciously in this hospital, right? They will literally go up to the floor and start asking for Mary, and they get contact, and they honestly, everything, it must be Mary. It's got to be Mary. You know, fuck the thousands of other ghosts that have been here and died, but it's got to be Mary because Mary died in this room, right? You know, and do you know the ghosts are flinging things because they're like, for fuck's sake, I'm sick of people asking for Mary. I'm not fucking Mary, I'm Boris.
I'm Boris.
It's true. It's absolutely true. You know, and the ghosts are probably getting so peed off that they feel like the last 20, 50 years have been coming in and asking for Mary, and poor little Boris is still over there going, I've just got a message from my wife. You know, that's all I want. It's true. Sorry, I shouldn't have swore.
No,
it annoys me.
It's when the ghosts swear back. That's what's funny. Because they swear just as much as we do.
That was funny, that, but I agree.
Can we beat that? No.
You can't even put it alive.
Oh, no, there we go.
It's fine, it's after 9 o'clock.
Oh, it's fine.
After the walk,
I love the way.
Yeah.
I really do. But I know what you mean when a group goes to a specific place and they get a bit of activity and they immediately jump on a name. You know, maybe that's Harold. It could be King Bernadette or something that's coming through, but
I just swore!
I just swore as well.
Yeah.
That's the
Crack's on now.
It's contagious.
Yeah.
No, I think the thing is, we never look up the history of places before we go. We don't, because obviously, unless it's local. Actually, even the rectory, we didn't have any history on that. Because I like to get names through as they come through and evidence through as it comes through, rather than going in with a mindset of this is who's there. Because I think if you go in thinking you're going to hear Mary, then you will hear Mary, regardless, you know, of anything. So obviously, if we're doing a repeat investigation and we've got names through, we will ask for those names. But we don't. I'm too lazy to look into research, to be honest. I need a historian on the team. I can't be bothered.
What's your thoughts, Jennifer, on the teams going out and coming up with a name? You know.
But it's different where you don't want to know or the name. With me, I go in completely different. I know what the history is, but I don't have any expectations of wanting to hear those names. I'm like, okay, if they come up, they come up. I'm not gonna go, okay, I'm gonna fish for it. No. But I like to know the history so that way I'm aware. So if what the finding is the history, if it doesn't match, is this history wrong? And that's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching a particular ghost show years ago. I'm not going to name it, but they went to this particular forest, and this forest was famous for Dick Turpin. I don't know if Jennifer knows who Dick Turpin was. Do you?
Not off the top of my head, but then again, I'm kind of not on my top of my game today. I'm very tired.
Dick Turpin was a famous highwayman back in the 19th century, 18th, 19th century. Basically, we just stopped people going through, when they were on their way through forests and stuff, and just robbed them, basically. He was caught eventually and executed. But this particular team went to this forest that was famous, his kind of stomping ground back in the day, and immediately they got Dick Turpin through. And I just thought that, obviously the forest, it can be, there can be loads of different spirits about, but as soon as they got a response or that's Dick Turpin.
Yeah.
I'm getting the name, Dick Turpin that came through us. But your last few investigations, you've had a kind of, negative kind of energy hanging about.
Yeah. I think the thing is, since, I don't know, the last God knows how many investigations, I have very negative precedents. Kristen's been there, witness it, it's on camera. I keep getting threats from demons. This keep saying the name Malik, and keep saying, Nadine, you filth, you will die, kill her, I want her, you know, just threats on my life all the time. So it's getting a little bit annoying, just to say.
Jennifer, I know we done that demon quiz the other week, and us three got absolutely slaughtered in it. But I think
I heard you guys got slaughtered on the demon quiz. No, when you said the whole thing with Malik, that's interesting. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Most demon or demon cases or anything that claims to be a demon is usually a punk. They like to just mess with you and see how well they can mess with you. And I will tell you, the best way to get them to stop is to be as nasty to them back. As in, just not nasty as in rude, nasty as in leave me alone. Oh, you have no power over me, and get the hell away.
Actually, to be fair, that is what I do. I tell them off. I do tell them off like naughty children. I do. Good.
They'll eventually calm down, or they'll become your best friend.
Yeah. The name we got through on Wednesday, Marbus, after the pony was knocked over by what said it was a demon. I didn't feel anything negative there. I didn't feel anything. That's the thing. I'm not feeling like a negative, nasty presence when it's there. So it's just.
Well, that's just most demons shouldn't have a nasty presence. That's just something that the Catholic Church decided to go. Oh, yeah, by the way.
No, we were talking about this. I was talking about this today with my mind is
someone.
Blank. Someone, yeah. I'm not going to mention names anyway. I was talking about it today with someone, and I said the exact same thing. I said I think Christianity's got a lot to answer to for the fact for demons, because I don't believe that they're a negative. I think they're very misunderstood.
Very much.
I believe that there's a lot of demons that are there to help you. There's a lot of demons that have a lot of different purposes. So,
yeah, it's funny with it because the Morbus or whatever his name is, in Christianity, he's like the president of hell or something like that. Yeah, and I'm like, how the hell does a demon become president of hell?
He was elected. Honestly.
I'm like, okay. I never understood that. So that's I'm glad to hear that somebody else has a very similar thought process like I do. because I think angels are can be just as bad.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah,
especially because
if not worse,
exactly.
it's literally written that how vengeful and spiteful they are.
Exactly.
But then I also thought of it. Maybe I'm looking it wrong, because they're saying, Nadine, you will die. Maybe they're trying to warn me of something.
It could be
rather than threaten me.
It might
apart
not
from the one that's saying kill her. That's
and it might not different. be. And it might not be referencing to you. It might be referencing to something else.
Yeah.
So that's my thought.
It never says anyone else though. It literally says my name and then says you're gonna die. Like it said it several times now. It never goes, Kristen, oh, you're gonna die, or Sam, you're gonna die. It's always me. I'm like, what? I literally sat there going, what have I done? Why are you bullying me?
Maybe they just want. Maybe this whatever. Maybe they're just, or this one in particular just likes you too much and goes, like a boy likes you way too much, and they start picking on you and poking you. Yeah. So maybe maybe this is their version of that.
You to do that sort of thing. I like you read it because you don't understand when I speak Scottish, so
Oh, we understand you just fine most of the time, Scott. Okay, Andy.
I'll read that. That sort of thing. Only time me vulnerable, tricking and inviting them in. What was that? Did you understand that?
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God, my husband's trying to call me. I have to turn off the phone. No, turn it off.
Usually when they do this sort of thing, they're trying to make you vulnerable and trick you into inviting them in, I believe.
I would say, I mean, what do you think, Nadine? Would you agree with that, or do you think it's a different reason?
I think that depends on the person. I think that I don't know. I don't know if I don't know enough about demons to have a real opinion on it, but I don't believe anything's trying to trick me to let them in, because I've had things follow me all my life, and it's never harmed me. I've never been harmed or anything like that, and I've never. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Jennifer?
I think it really does believe, as you said, it depends on the person. Also, I think it believes in the culture and what your beliefs are. I mean, if you believe that they can infect you, sure, you're going to have that belief system ingrained. But if you go to but if you go to places in Greece, you go to Japan, you go to places in Africa, you go to South America, it's all different on how those demons behave and what they can do to you. Sometimes they help you, sometimes they trick you. I mean, everybody has their own version of what a demon is or what they can do to you. So,
you've got to remember as well. Also, it goes back from a lot of possessions and stuff like that were mentally ill people.
And
didn't know it was mentally ill or had epilepsy or some form of.
You want to hear my conspiracy theory on this one? And I'm probably going to get slammed for it, but I don't care. I think that so you have those mentally ill, the people susceptible, right? What if whatever was coming through, because sometimes they're speaking Latin, there's no way they knew Latin, what if demon or angel, it doesn't matter, wasn't really trying to harm them? Maybe they were trying to help them, maybe overcome and I'm not knocking Christianity or Catholicism at all, because that's your guys' belief and I totally appreciate what you guys do. But what if it was approached differently because it was something new? It wasn't something that, and no one really studied it. Even though they did study it, they didn't really completely study it, and they still just assumed what was happening instead of actually finding out what exactly was happening.
Yeah.
So that would be my conspiracy theory on demons, that on possessions, that it's kind of a 50-50, that the people who are vulnerable are more susceptible to those that maybe are negative, and maybe it's or negative energies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, possibly it goes off your energy, what you're giving, you're getting back.
Right.
If you're a negative person wanting this negative demon to come and help you negatively, then
and
perfect.
What if it's what
you're a positive person and you wanted them to heal sickness, etc.
Yeah. Just a thought. It's an odd thought, but it's a thought.
like I said, I'm so interested in demonology, but I don't know a lot about demonology, only from personal experiences and stuff like that. I do think it is really interesting that it did come through, say, I'm a demon, and then literally seconds later after he says, if you're a demon,
and it gave you a name.
The pony gets knocked over, and then it gave us a name of an actual demon. And it is clear as day. I've got the videos, It's
so now the question is, are they really that demon, or are they claiming to because they like the name of that demon and they like what the demon is?
Yeah, that's true. But apparently Marbus is a demon that helps with illness and disease.
Correct.
So
and president of hell.
And president of hell. Elected by his peers.
And a lion, apparently.
Yeah, and a lion.
Oh yeah, and a lion. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Good point. Margaret says, I had an angel, my first guardian. She left because of other angels wanted to use me, and she didn't want any part of this. Understandable. If you go by what the Catholics or the Christianity believe, the angels don't exactly like humans completely. Because they feel that God favored humans and not the angel. So yeah, I can see why one angel might be jealous of another. I mean, definitely.
In the rectory the other day, we did actually get angel through. We got demon through, of course, and then in a different room it says like angel, and we say, well, if you're an angel, make the ball flash 3 times, and it makes the ball flash 3 times. So it's and it's a vicarage is where priests used to live, so
right. No, definitely it should be both.
Interesting and like there's so much. It's just so interesting. I just love it.
Andy, I love you, Andy. That's great. He has all these interesting things to say. We learned something interesting last week from Gavin, that the demons infest actually to take a break. Okay, demons are always fighting for power and against each other. A demon can infest and do anything just for the break. Really interesting point he made. Okay, that's an awesome point of view. I think. I mean, really, are they doing that? Then again, the same could be saying about angels. Are they doing the same thing? Angels, demons, elementals, ghosts.
Are they all the same thing? No one really knows what they are. I mean, like you're saying, if you look at different mythologies, there's something different. In a lot of mythologies, like demons are gods.
Correct.
Christianity has wiped out a lot of paganism and stuff like that. A lot of other people's beliefs, and it's just been deleted from time, basically.
Yeah, with my pagan background and pagan beliefs, it's hard because I actually do cleansings for people. I go into police's houses, so I cater to Catholics, basic Christians, Buddhists, whatever. But I never cleanse as a pagan. I cleanse as their belief because they're the ones who are being pestered. They're the ones who are having the issue. Exactly. So I have to trust that what they are telling me is their natural fear. That is their personal belief, and I cannot tell them otherwise that they're wrong, because there's one thing you can't change in people, and their personal beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was brought up Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic primary school, secondary school, but so I know quite a bit on that side of things as well. And there's just I'm not knocking anyone that does believe in that.
Exactly, and that's where we're going to have that friction. Because people want to say they're right about one thing, and then, we're absolutely right about demons. And then you have this side going, well, did you look at other cultures? And this side's all, no, they're only ours. So you have that disconnect.
Sorry.
It's with your government. Which,
we're not talking politics, mate. That's a discussion for another time. So, do you believe that Boris is possessed? Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go there. There's a few people in the United States, I think, that might be possessed and wondered about what they're doing.
Yeah. Are we all just run by demons?
Oh no, and geez, Andy. Okay, Andy, this is what your joke of the day. What do ghosts have at Christmas parties? Okay, what do ghosts have at Christmas parties? I have no idea.
Boris Johnson.
We're waiting on the answer coming, Andy. Where's
Come on,
Andy
Andy.
Dex's?
Answer.
Andy Dex's evening Prime Minister? You know, but let's not. I think Boris is going where his barbers is. His dresser, definitely. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm sorry, Andy. It sounded like a joke because he said in the comments, no, it's a comment relating to politics. Well, guess what? Here in America, that would be relayed as a joke, not a comment. Sorry, I took it as a joke because that's how we read things. Because
If you follow Paul crisis from last Christmas, you will understand.
Was it a joke? Maybe it wasn't a joke. I'll be investigated as a joke. It might not have happened as a joke. There's no evidence to say it wasn't. There might be a video of a joke.
I can tell you about ghosts have at Christmas parties. They have spirits.
So,
That's what
Kristen,
Jennifer-
what do you think about demons?
I think they're interesting. I'm not as clued up about them, but yeah, I think that they're not as evil as everybody says they are. They could be good or evil, I think.
Do they like cheese and wine? That's a good point. Aye. Do they like some cheese and wine around Christmas time?
Sorry, I kind of derailed.
The whole, you know, I think again, a big part of it is Hollywood driven. You know,
Yeah.
Hollywood portrays demons as these kind of hideous.
Spray tanned.
What?
Well, they're all good looking, aren't they? To be fair.
You ever met a good looking demon? Well, they've got horns and all the heads and bits sticking out the side of their head. What programs have you been watching? Good looking demon.
They're like,
So-
spray tanned.
You've been watching Buffy, haven't you?
No,
You've been watching
Lucifer.
Buffy.
Lucifer.
Oh, that. No.
That
Ghost like me.
Some white.
I do not understand that comment. Please explain what that means. What does that mean?
There's
Last Christmas, a load of ghosts had a party that was unofficial that involved cheese and wine and spray tans.
but it never happened. But
But it
then
never
maybe
happened.
it did happen, even though there was a video of it happening.
It's a
No,
bit
No, I don't know what I don't know what that word is. What is a cam? What is that? What is that?
Cheese.
Cheese.
Okay.
I think we're on a political thing again here. Just
I'm
dressed
like,
up
where
like
are you
paranormal.
going?
It's fine.
It's a Trojan horse here because they're
No
talking
kidding,
about
because apparently
politics
I have
while
lost-
using it as paranormal. You see what I
I
mean?
can see what's going on here. I
Yeah,
think
we
they're on
see
about the
what's going
Christmas
on over
party
here.
that the
Yeah,
the
sorry.
government had.
It
All right.
happened, but then it happened.
I'll Google it, Jennifer. We'll explain it all. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Welcome to Politics
Anyway.
and History, everyone.
That's right.
Paranormal.
No, but we haven't mentioned anything directly. We could be talking anything anywhere.
We're talking about spray tan ghosts having a party involving cheese and wine that didn't
Right.
happen, but there's a video to say it happened. It's not happened. The police are investigating. It didn't
Andy,
actually happen.
I-
We something
Andy,
the
you're now you get my joke / comment. Actually, no, I'm still very, very lost, Andy. I am very confused by this whole conversation.
It was Andy that started all this off. I blame him.
Yeah, and it's the American who's getting lost.
It's all right, Jeff. Don't worry. So we can do paranormal if we can.
Oh
Your
my
investigations go out with a kind of set plan, or is it just as it happens? Does everybody get kind of track of the whip, or how do you use what your
Right.
investigations?
Well, come on, guys. Welcome to the Nadine Show. I am lead investigator. I organise it all. I get us there. I sort out what the equipment. I do everything, and yeah, I run the show. I say who's doing what and when and where. Obviously, not in a dictator kind of way. If someone wants to do something, by all means, go do it. I'm not going to say, well, you can't do that because I want to do this. But I do lead it, yeah, and I do tend to be the one who's mainly on camera. But it's not because I want to be the center of attention. Welcome to the Nadine Show. I'm going to have a jingle made. Right.
I'm good at thinking of jingles.
Right. So, yes, you are. You'll have to make me one.
I will.
Yeah, but it just happened that way. Kristen had said she doesn't mind doing a bit of investigation, but she wants to be the camera woman. Sam is learning how to investigate. Sam's very afraid of the paranormal because of his experience with, say, demons and stuff like that, and past experiences. He's a little bit scared of it. So we're slowly getting him into being a bit more like doing a bit more of the investigating. But Sam's also autistic, and he struggles to know when to do the cues and stuff like that. So not the cues, but not when to have a train of thought going and not change the train of thought and stuff like that. But he's learning. He's doing really well. Steph and Em, the other two members of our team, they've only been on 4 investigations with us, I think, and they just like to. They like us to do it. They like to be there, but just like the support. So, in reference to your question, which was, what was your question? I've digressed. It's just gone off.
No, I think you're answering it all right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, we have had comments now. Apparently, people complaining to other people, saying, "Oh well, it's the Nadine Show. She doesn't share the investigations." Yada yada yada. But that's not true. The thing is, people don't realise we do. Like I said, we've only been doing the lives a short while, but during our investigations, for example, the first time we went to the Royal Arcade, we sat there for about 40 minutes doing EVPs with Steph, because Steph had requested that she wanted to do EVPs, so we sat there and did it, but we didn't get anything. So what's the point in putting it in the video? Do you know what I mean? So,
nobody wants to sit and watch 40 minutes of nothing, But I think every team's got, they have got somebody in the team that's, the lead investigator or, whatever you want to call them. But I mean, I've watched investigations, and everybody gets a crack of the whip, as we say.
You don't, I will team.
Because you are all too chicken. You are scared of the dark and horror films.
That's the thing. No one had ever said to me that they wanted to do more in the group, and I asked my group. I asked all of them. I said, "Look, someone said to me that if they feel like it's the Nadine Show, that's what the Nadine Show is all about." And other people have said it to them. I don't know if they have or if they haven't. But so I went straight to my team and I said, "Look, guys, I'm sorry if this is how you feel. Is there anything you'd like to do?" Yada, yada, yada. Went straight to them. And all of them said, "No, we're perfectly happy with the way it is." Every single one of them said, "We like it the way it is." So why should I go and change the way we do our investigations to please other people? If my team's happy and I'm happy and other people are happy watching it, then why? Because I'm not investigating the way other people want me to investigate, should I change?
No, you're totally right. You're as a team, and a team is working, and everybody's happy with the way it's working, then you don't kick a sleeping dog, as they say. Do you know what I mean?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've got 2 big comments to put up here. So Jennifer and Kristen might disappear. We're just letting you know.
Yeah, they are rather big.
Bye.
Put them up.
Go for it.
What's happening?
Well, put them up.
Okay,
That's Gavin.
That's
He's the gaming expert that Andy was talking about. He says he's always here to help. Get in touch with him. So here's the first big comment coming. It might cover them up. What do you think?
Right. Jennifer
All
can read.
All right, I'll read. All right, Hi, Craig. Okay, Craig says, all the ghosts in the UK are said to congregate once a year on December 21st at these, what the hell, stripper stones in Bishop's Castle. Good Lord, he's doing this on purpose. Shropshire, perhaps for a ghoulish AGM. Local legend suggests England shall be ruined if the quartzite ever sinks into the ground. What the hell's quartzite? Oh no, I know it is. Never mind. Okay, on one of the doors of the Devil's Chair, Satan is said to appear and speed up the process of nations' destruction. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I do apologize.
Right. Craig, first of all, can I just say that is absolute rubbish, and the 21st of December is the winter solstice.
Exactly. Happy Yule.
Yeah, Gladly Yule. Happy Yule. It is the beginning of Yule.
Right,
That's what it's the beginning of the end of of the beginning of the sun coming back.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, D says, I think there is just dark and light energies, tortured souls, etc. I think as humans, we have created representation of them in many ways that we can try to understand. But funny thing is, we won't truly find out we won't truly find out till we move on, and then we can't tell no one. Ha! The irony.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, D. I think that some, not all, spirits are just trapped, tortured souls. I do totally agree with that, but I don't think all of them are. I do believe there's other things out there like demons, angels, cryptids. There's so many other things that are out there. I think humans' souls, trapped souls, or tortured souls do make up a big part of that.
So purgatory on Earth.
Yeah.
So here's another question for you. Do you love to do a paranormal stuff? I'm scared to get an attachment. Does this happen often with you psych ladies?
No. Not if you take the right precautions, one. Number two, if they're running into attached to you, then you've done something to invite it. That's my opinion, but that's just my opinion.
See, my belief is right, everyone has something that protects them, and it's a talisman, whether it's a crucifix, cross, pentagram, a sigil. If you wear something, a crystal, it could be anything that you think has power to protect you, and as long as you believe that has power to protect you, then it will protect you. It doesn't matter what it is. So if you want to do investigations and you're scared that something's going to attach to you, buy something that you believe gives you power, no matter what your belief is. If you have no belief, buy a crystal, buy something that harmonizes with your energy, something like that, something that's going to make you feel like you are powerful. Like my best friend Sam, who's on our team, he wears the seal of Solomon because he believes in King Solomon, and when he feels like anxious, he holds his seal of Solomon. I always wear my pentagrams, and I believe they protect me, and she always wears a crystal that I bought her to protect her. I mean, it doesn't have to be a necklace. It could be anything that you think, even a stone in your pocket to ground you, just something that grounds you back to it. I mean, I'm not saying that'll 100% work, but I think that helps. I think it is very, like I said, the cross works for a Christian, a pentagram will work for a pagan, or whatever you believe in. It will help. Sorry, I go off on a tangent. Don't
No, actually, you're perfect. It was perfect. I couldn't have said it better. But there's a lot of people. Unfortunately, there are people out there that welcome the attachments because they're looking for it, and that's what scares me. That they actually want them. I mean, not the good ones. The protector ones is great, but they're looking for the negative ones, and I'm like, why?
Yes, there is people that absolutely, of course, go into abandoned places and. Okay, right. I love this. I'm sorry, I have to say this, right? I love when ghost shows go into somewhere and there's a pentagram on the wall and they're like, there must be demon worshippers here. There's a pentagram, so there's definitely been demon worshipping here. Right, and next to it there's a big cock. There's definitely been cock worshippers here because it's just kids. It's kids coming in, drawing things on walls to scare
To scare
people.
people.
You know,
Oh my gosh.
99.9% of the time, there's been absolutely no rituals there. It is just kids messing around.
I
I'm
need
so
to excuse
sorry.
myself just for a
I'm so
second. My
sorry.
dog is barking, so I'll be right back.
No problem.
I apologize.
That's all right. Nobody's too
Did you have to-
you know,
Did you have to say the C word?
I did not say any kind of C word.
You
I
did
said
so.
coke. I said coke. I said coke.
That's what
Every
they all say.
abandoned building,
That's my accent.
you go in, there's a picture of the male appendage.
Next to a pentagram.
Does that mean that people worship the male
Yeah.
appendage whilst doing the pentagram shite?
I'll tell you a funny story. We used to abandon buildings and drawings of the mail, you know, do that. What's it?
What's it?
Well, it's better than what you said. We done a live, as a couple of ex-team members, we done a live in an abandoned building a few months ago, and she was standing against the wall and I was filming, and it was only after I watched it back that, no, we must have filmed for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, the first season.
I was there.
It was only after I watched it back that I realised right beside her was spray painting of the male appendage. She was standing right beside
I
her.
mean,
And so,
I'm in for big bloody trouble if you put a pentagram on your wall and, you know, and then you summon in demons because I'm a bit naff, me.
Oh, don't get me started. My altar's right over on the
I
other
think
side.
the thing is, as well, the pentagram is so misunderstood. Again, I would say because of Christianity, I'm going to blame Christianity again, kind of, sort of, but, you know, the pentagram does not mean what people think the pentagram means. And even in Christianity, the pentagram represents the 5 wounds of Jesus. But yet, if you show a pentagram to someone of certain beliefs, they'll go, oh my God, you're a witch, or you're a demon worshiper, or you're this, you're that, because there's a pentagram. No, there's not. So even if people were in there doing ritual and there's a pentagram, chances are they were celebrating a solstice or a Sabbath or something peacefully with their coven or by themselves, and they would absolutely nothing to do with demon summoning or worshipping or something like that.
I mean, a lot of the time it's kids, teenagers messing about, and, you know, I think it's a kind of normal time from the day, you know.
That's exactly what I said, Scott. Yeah.
You mean, kind of like those teenagers on TikTok?
Did you see the guy who got possessed because he
I saw that one.
6 Ouija boards out at once,
yes,
or something like that.
Oh, TikTok's wonderful for it. The guy that got possessed, the teenagers that tried to curse the moon. That was fun. Oh yeah. They try. Yeah.
I know what I'm fed up of. I'm fed up of these tides, and I'm fed up of that bloody moon. Right? We don't want no more tides and no more moons. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to curse the fucking thing. That's what I'm going to do. I've just had enough of this.
Yeah, that's just one thing they've done. They've done other things. I just can't remember what else they've done. But yeah, I'm going through. I'm like, okay, why are you putting this on TikTok? And then my other favorite ones on TikTok are the ones that do the demon thing, and then they try to make you think it's real, and you can see that it's staged. I'm like, why? God.
It's passion. Nadine's passionate about what she believes in. She is not ranting.
I'll shut up the news.
No, I don't want to.
So, Scott, what do you do?
Scott's saying you're ranting. I say you have passion.
Yes,
so
exactly.
What do you take out on an investigation for protection?
My hat.
Your hat.
No.
See, you've got your hat. What have I got? I take you. You're my protection.
No, I'll tell you what I usually wear. It's going to sound stupid. Buddha beads.
Is it a green G string?
No. Holy moly.
I know, it seems we're talking about a new show theme there, Scott. We're starting a new show on the 15th of January. Andy Murphy and Charlie for the Haunted Touch and myself is called...
and now time for a quick ad.
It's just and it's just the lighter side of the paranormal, basically.
And Scott will be in a green G-string.
Scott will not be wearing a green G-string at any time.
Drinking orange mad dog dancing about.
With wellies on.
With
Anyway,
wellies on.
the pentagram is a symbol of the goddess Core.
Core.
Known as a star of knowledge. I can't even say that word.
Pythagoreans.
Pythagoras.
No,
The
the Pythagoreans.
Pythagoreans.
I'm letting you butcher that all by yourself.
Not Varians.
I can't read that.
Pythagoreans.
Symbol.
Pythagoreans.
All right,
Pythagoreans.
okay, Craig, I love this. The pentagram is a symbol of the goddess Core. Well, okay, that's interesting. Sorry, I need to interrupt him on this thought process. Where the hell did you get that info? Also known as the Star of Knowledge, the Pythagoreans revered this symbol as the pentacle. The pentacle. Yeah, don't even go there. The letter A, called the birth letter, interlaced to 5. Okay, this is actually more Greek based. This is Greek paganism. So yeah, because if you go to Celtic based, Norse based, or even Egyptian based, the pentagram is completely different meaning and means a different goddess altogether. So I get where you're going, because that's Greek. That's I think that information is very one-sided. Sorry, Craig. I'm not sure where else to go with that.
I mean, to a lot of people, the pentagram means earth, air, fire, spirit. Earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, sorry.
And usually doesn't mean one goddess in particular.
It represents the elements.
That's why I'm like, where on earth did that come from? I don't know.
To me, it's always been about devil worship. I've just watched too many movies. But moving on. So,
sorry, Greg.
Their own favourite kind of gadgets and tools and everything. And what's your what was I going to say?
Favourite.
So what's your favourite? What's your favourite? Sorry, Laura.
I like using cat balls along with some kind of either a spirit box or necrophonics. But Kristen has just got us a nice little laser grid to play with. So this is my new little toy to play with.
Don't even go there.
What? See, when we're out investigating, Laura, bless her. She needs a 5-minute warning before you put the laser grid on. We done an investigation a few months ago now at Turkyard, and I was standing beside and I put the laser grid on. And I'll let you tell the story, Laura, because you bash yourself.
Right, so we're standing in the middle of this graveyard, right? Just talking as you do. No warning, nothing whatsoever, right? It's pitch black, there's no noise, there's no light or nothing. So boss man decides to put this laser grid on without warning me, and all I could see was these wee green dots. I honestly thought I was going mad. That's right, ever.
3 times it happened. You freaked out. I thought you need an ambulance. You know what I mean?
Definitely not my favourite.
So now we need to give her a 5-minute warning.
Yes.
And make sure she's sitting down.
Laura, you're not hallucinating. The laser grid is on.
You know. Even her husband agrees. Grace Laura's husband. Even he agrees. So we need to now give her a 5-minute warning. When it comes to the laser grid. I mean,
Andy's back with a wonderful comment. I love it.
Yeah, I do. I love cat balls. I love communication with cat balls.
Okay.
We've had such good communication with them.
Cat balls is my favorite thing.
Oh, he's just going back to the paganism thing. So if it means different things and different types of paganism, how does someone not talk about it from one side if there's a collective view of it within the whole of paganism? Because the collective view is one thing versus someone saying that it's like, okay, any symbol. Okay, you have one symbol that's universal, or items. Numbers are universal. They're all over the place. But if you bring them into astrology or and things like that, they start taking on different meanings. Same with other symbols like pentagrams, crosses. They're going to mean different things to different people. You can take St. Peter's cross, the one that's upside down. Some people believe it to be, oh my God, that's really bad. But in Orthodoxy, having the upside down cross is completely legit, and because because they follow St. Peter. Good grief. So anyways, the whole idea with the pentagram, the universal is the elements, representing all the elements, all 5 elements, not necessarily one goddess or a god in particular. However, there are different people in the world. I'm not saying unfortunately, because that's their personal belief, that the pentagram star itself is subjugated or attached to different goddesses or a certain goddess in their realm.
There you go. There you go. And there's your answer. But
Actually, on that note, also, of course, the 5 wounds of Jesus. You see the pentagram on old churches. You know, it's in stonework. But that's not what I was going to say. I love it when people see a pentagram and they think, oh, well, you must be a devil worship because you're wearing a pentagram. You're like, but isn't that the upside down one? And they're like, yeah, but it's still a pentagram. Yeah, but the upside down cross also means the demon or devil worshiping, doesn't it? But you don't go to someone wearing a crucifix, wearing a devil worshipper.
that's true.
Which now that brings us full circle back to the whole demon thing, that demons are going to mean different things to different people, especially to different cultures. So you got symbols, everything is going to mean something different. Excuse me.
And somebody's going to think that they're right and everybody else is wrong.
Yeah.
That is a common thing that happens. Unfortunately, it causes lots of misconceptions. And then it's not necessarily that misconception turns into, it's not ignorance. It has nothing to do with ignorance. Anyone can go and look it up. It comes to perception and how people want to perceive something.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a symbol into anything you believe it is to be. Like, say you have yourself and 4 sisters, not that I do, but, you could have the pentacle or pentagram as a symbol for you and your sisters. It can mean anything to anyone. Like, it's subjective, isn't it, to whatever you believe.
Exactly.
Exactly. To get back to the gadgets and the toys and whistles, you like cat balls. What else did you say that you use?
I like to use the cat balls as alongside a spirit box or a necrophonics or something to what's the word I'm looking for? Back it up. Something to I'll be back after this brief moment. Just have like a screen scrolling, like.
I get what you mean, Nadine. Like, if the spirit says something on the
validate
box,
it.
then it correlates with the ball if the ball goes off as well.
Yeah, I like to do that. That is my favourite way to investigate. I like it.
So what about the Ouija board?
We've only done it twice, and we haven't really got anything on the Ouija board. I think I'm not. I haven't used it enough to have an opinion on it. Basically,
I'm kind of average on that. It's okay.
we haven't personally had anything come through the Ouija board.
I do apologize again. My dog is barking again. I do apologize.
It's all right, Flat. It's all right. I've tried the Ouija board once. I've been at the paranormal for 30 odd years. It was something I always swore I would never ever touch as a Ouija board. But quite good friends with JSI. Ralph, who's one of the co-founders, he's been doing the Ouija board for about 30 years. And we made a deal months ago that if we ever met up, I would try the Ouija board, as long as I was kind of under supervision. I know, I'm a grown man, all the rest of it, but I wouldn't try it without somebody that's got experience there, somebody genuine with experience.
So not as a daft teenager sitting in your pal's back door, absolutely steaming drunk.
No.
I think the Ouija boards terrify people because of, again, Hollywood. Because of film.
maybe.
Spirit boards were used for hundreds of years, or probably exaggerating, a long time before Hollywood picked up on them, and they were used as a divinical. What's the word I'm looking for, Jennifer? Divination. Divination. That's the one. Divination device. Device or whatever the word is. I don't English today. Okay. And they were used to contact spirits and stuff for a long time before Hollywood demonized them. So I think it's the same as everything else. It's been demonized by other things, and it's what you think. If you think you're going to contact a negative spirit through a Ouija board, then you probably are. Chances are you already had bad luck, but you believe you're having more bad luck because now you've conjured a demon through a spirit board. And everything. It's like a curse. If you believe you're cursed, you will be cursed. You can't be cursed if you don't believe you're cursed. Because things will happen, and everything negative you will associate with the curse or with what's happened with the Ouija board, because that's what you believe in. But it's probably no worse than it ever was before. But now you've got something to blame for it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. No, it does. I mean, the Ouija board, I finally tried it when we went to Sherwood Forest, and I'd watched a lot of movies and stuff.
Did you get Robin Hood? Did you contact Robin Hood?
No, I think he was up seeing
Well, you're rubbish. So. Did you not know you're supposed to go there and ask for Robin Hood? You're sacked.
I went there and asked. But I felt it quite calming, to be honest with you. I mean, we only done it for maybe 5-10 minutes. But after the GSI were, how did you find it? I said, well, I found it quite a calm experience. That might sound insane. I've got no idea. I'll not know until the next time we meet up and I try it again with him. I wouldn't do it with anybody else. No disrespect to it, but I wouldn't do it with anybody else except with the guys at GSI, basically. See Andy Murphy, I'm telling you, he's going to get sacked. He's...
Oh my goodness. Why?
Oh, guys, we're going to have to share this picture so everyone knows what we're talking about here. I'm going to find it and share it.
Yeah, but why even bother?
Okay.
Talking
can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Is it showing?
Hilarious. No, it's not. I don't see anything. It's you. There you go.
Right, okay. Whoa, what happened? Give it a second. Right. Can you see it?
Okay.
Can we see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this here is Scott. Can you see it all, guys? And his sexy green phone. Just so you all know what we're going on about without his green phone from Maid Marian, because I hate not being in the loop. I hate when joining chats and you're like, what on earth are they going on about? So
just the idea that you would even bother asking such a thing. Oof.
It's quite
That's the first thing I was going to ask.
No. Aren't you glad you invited me on, Scott?
I can be bad. I can be bad, but
I just state categorically that is not me.
Jennifer, how much is that, Scott?
Sorry, there's some. I didn't quite hear that. There is a lot of noise.
How much did that picture look like, Scott?
I would say that I wasn't convinced.
You're sacked.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I do a lot of picture and film watching and picking apart. And I'm like, there's parts of it that don't quite work. Sorry.
So, Kristen, what about you with the balls? Your favourite thing?
I already said what it was. I agree with you. I like the cat balls, but I also like the new thing that we've got. I'd like to see what we could capture with it, with the grid. And I
So
also
what
like the
about
idea of if we ever get one of those like music boxes, that would be cool. Like, you know, if like a spirit goes near it and it plays, that'd be cool.
So coming away from the tech side, what about more kind of old school kind of stuff like compasses, you know, candles, dowsing rods, stuff like that?
I like candles. I like to try to see if they can make candles go out. And we have actually had it go out before once, but it was windy and we were in a place with open windows, so I can't 100% say. But I can probably say for 20% certainty that it was a like ghost, and 80% certainty that it was the wind. So
We've started using a pendulum as well.
that's it. Oh yeah, I've started using a pendulum myself for dowsing pendulum. That the funny thing is, I haven't uploaded the video yet, but during the pendulum session, we were getting the same answers through the spirit through the necrophonics as we were the pendulum at the same time. So that was quite cool. Dowsing rods, I'm not sure on, because I think they're so easily manipulated. I think they do work for a lot of people, but you have to have a really steady hand because the slightest little twitch will turn them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal preference. You know, compass, of course, it's magnetic. You know, if there's something magnetic change in a compass, you know, unless you've got a magnet in your pocket and you're making it turn, you know, there's no way that you are manipulating that compass.
That's a good idea. I should get a compass.
You see, the rods can be, I think they're saying sleight of thumb or something. The saying is,
a bit of wind,
move.
the slightest draft can move them.
Dee's put up a comment about can't wait to see the laser grid. There's a comment. There is. So,
isn't that when Sarah started showing off the laser grid? That's funny.
Basically, Dee, the laser grid is a pen.
I have a purple one.
I
have a purple one.
That's fair.
I thought you only got them in green.
Green. They come in green, blue, purple, red, and I think there's one more color, but I can't remember what it is.
The Human Pendulum is one I'm also not keen on, Scott.
I don't want to ever try that.
It's basically just a pen. You press a button and it throws up a green grid, basically.
Or you can have it just do dot. Like that.
The Human Pendulum, you're saying you don't have a lot of faith in that.
No, and I'm not knocking anyone that uses it, because some people do use it. But to me, it can be, if you stand up straight and put your feet together, your body will sway one way or the other, because your body is trying to find the center of gravity. It's a fact. And not just that, even if you have a clear mind, if someone asks you a question, you're going to answer the question in your head. It's micro movements in your head, and it's the power of suggestion. I'm not saying everybody, but if you get someone who's very susceptible and suggestible to being manipulated, or not purposely manipulated, of course, they will likely have an answer in their head. If I asked you a question, a yes or no question, you would instantly think of an answer in your head, whether it attained to you or not. You know, if I said, does Sarah like Coke? You'd instantly have an answer in your head. If I was asking you directly, you know, do you know what I mean? Whether the answer is true or not, you would still have the answer in your head. And if you pair that with losing the center of gravity and micro movements and subconscious body movements, then I think it's just, to me, can be either easily faked or easily manipulated, and they don't know that it's being manipulated. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm not saying that no one's ever, you know, but you're also, it would take a lot of energy for a spirit to do that, you know, and you're in place and you said, "Oh, could you move something?" They can't move something, but they can move a human being. The amount of energy that it would take to do that.
I agree.
Personally, that's just my. I'm not knocking
You see,
anyone.
that's my.
Human pendulum. That's just my opinion on it. It's not a
I mean, my,
solid bit of evidence. I mean, if your REM pod goes off, then your REM pod goes off. You know, if something falls over, it falls over. But the human pendulum is not a. It's too easily manipulated to be a solid form of evidence, in my opinion. Sorry.
No, I agree with you. I mean, and it no disrespect to anybody that believes in it, but I've watched a few, and to me, I tried it one time and nothing happened to me. You know, I didn't have the urge to go forward or back lever, you know. But some teams, you see, they'll do it, and every single time, as soon as they start, there's a spirit there.
Yeah, it's just not possible. The same as the Ouija board. It's not possible. It's even if you had the best look in the world with contacting and using your body to not conjure things, but connect with things, using a Ouija board, there's no way you would get it every single time. Just doesn't happen like that. The same with the human pendulum. It just wouldn't happen every time. Sorry, go on, Scott.
I'm just going to Marty's saying lines are next live. I don't know if they mean our live or your live.
Marnie, I think Marnie is. Are you talking to us, Marnie?
Probably. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking. I Googled because I couldn't remember how to pronounce the stupid effect that you were talking about, Nadine, about the involuntary movement when you don't realize it.
Yeah.
It actually is called the Ididomer effect. Oh, yeah, butchered that. So it actually has a name. It is scientifically proven and it exists.
Yes.
So yes, you all can look it up. It's on Google, everywhere. It's in textbooks. It's a real thing.
Marnie, I'm not sure when our next live will be. Hopefully soon. We're hoping to get the whole team together and to cover the rectory, so we'll do a live then. If not, it'll be after Christmas because once, we've got to have a break for Christmas. And hello, Kathy. Hello, Marnie. Hello, everyone that joined. I'm sorry, I'm rubbish at following chats. But yeah, I knew there was actually a word for it, and I knew it was an actual thing.
No, it was in my head, and I'm like, okay, how do I spell this? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to find it on my phone. I found it because I'm like, it's in my head, and I found it, and I'm like, okay, so knowing that there's a real word for it, that it's an actual phenomenon. It's not a phenomenon. Well, it is a phenomenon, but that it has a name and that it can be detected using slight detectional grids and things. I mean, that people who move the planchettes, pendulums, the human pendulum, the dowsing rods, all of them have the possibility of having the Ididomer phenomenon effect happening. Because we have these little tiny pulses in our body that go boom, boom, boom without us knowing.
That's why I always like to have a backup of, like, when I did my pendulum the other weekend. I've only done the pendulum twice now, actually, on investigations, but we had the spirit box run at the same time, and it was giving the same answers. So, but yeah, no, I totally agree. Any of it can be manipulated. I'm not saying that my pendulum is 100% true, and that's how it should be. We're only messing around with new things. Like I said, we've only been investigating like just over a year, so we are still, finding out what we like and what we don't like. And we've tried some things and we don't like them. I don't like the human pendulum. I don't like dowsing rods. I don't like other things like that.
That's it. You found your own. Just thanks very much, Marnie, for following us. Much appreciated. But I mean, there's things that we'll not touch, like the human pendulum. We don't do the Ouija board, dowsing rods. No, we don't do the dowsing rods or anything like that. So we tend to. We start to try and go old school with a compass, it never worked, but we're going to keep trying it. A plain on a compass. But it's these teams that go out, they go, and the second they start investigating, they've got a spirit.
Yeah.
Right away, and that kind of grinds my gears a wee bit.
Stop saying
I've not heard that in
No.
years.
You know, I could say get some more beat beeps. No, I mean, but I'm not going to.
That pure grind my gears.
I mean, as you know, that I mean, during investigations, we've been on investigations and got absolutely nothing. I mean, it's very rare that we don't get anything, but because I don't know if spirits hate me or like me or whichever way it is. I don't know which way it is, but they seem to like be attracted to. Sorry, the Nadine show down the bottom. They seem to be attracted to me. They seem to get good responses from them, but not on every investigation. I mean, there's some investigations you get one word through. You know, some investigations you'll get nothing through, and other investigations you'll get the whole lot. It's just, like I said, it's not possible to get. I don't believe, in my personal opinion, it's possible to go into every investigation and instantly get something. I couldn't click there. I failed there. Instant. I've got no friction.
I mean, well,
I can just flick it on.
I mean, we can celebrate for that. I mean, we were doing Caldwell and we got loads of activity in Caldwell, but there was a couple of times that we went and we got diddly squat. You know, we maybe get the odd flash of the K2 meter or a cat ball went off once, and that was it. We'd be there for ages and maybe a flash of a cat ball, but then we get back again, you know, and we get loads of stuff. And we've done, I mean, Greyfriars. We've done Greyfriars, I don't know, many times, and we've had nothing except one night. Sarah and I were there, and we picked up very, very brief. You're talking seconds on the presence of a male in front of the Mackenzie tomb.
Was that the hot and cold guy?
Aye. I'll let Sarah tell you.
So I was standing against, well, not against, I was standing in front of a headstone, and it was weird. When there was nobody in front of me, it felt warm, right? So I would shout Scott over, he'd come over and it went cold. He'd go away again and it would go back to roasting. But it felt like, see how it feels when somebody stands like right in front of you, you get their radiation of body heat. That's what it felt like, but there was nobody there.
But it lasted seconds, you know. I say, we've done, and you get these teams that go, and again, it grinds my gears. You get the teams that go to Greyfriars and they get everything. They get the Mackenzie poltergeist, and you know.
We had the same at Edinburgh Vaults. I went to Edinburgh Vaults and didn't get anything. I was there for 6 hours and I got nothing overnight. But other people gone, of course, they do get stuff there, but I got nothing there. And we went to Greyfriars, and personally, we got nothing. I know other teams did get stuff, but our team personally didn't get anything.
Exactly. I mean, we've been in Greyfriars, you know, during the day. We even went to 3 a.m., you know, once as well. And
that was kind of disappointing.
That was the only thing we got was battery drainage. That was it. You know, batteries drained 15 minutes.
That could be because of the cold. That's another thing. Everyone associates batteries draining with, oh, it must be a spirit. No, batteries drain because it's cold. That is a fact.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The cold battery will drain.
Oh, the more you know.
People go out and they're in the freezing cold and like, oh, look, our batteries have just drained. Well, of course it has. You know. I'm not saying. Sorry, I'm not saying every time that batteries drain, it's not paranormal. Cold does drain batteries, and not a lot of people do know that, so they will automatically think it must be paranormal.
I didn't know that.
I knew that.
I'm just bursting every flipper's bubble tonight, Anna. Just like, yeah, welcome Nadine. She's gonna put a shit on everything.
No, but you're not wrong. That is a well-known scientific fact. I don't trust battery drainage either unless it's in a controlled environment.
So what do you think, Jennifer, about these teams or, you know, individuals that go out and they get something every single time?
Oh, we've heard my opinion on this every time, Scott. I think if you're looking for it and you are expecting it, of course, every little whisper, every little bump, every little thing is going to be considered paranormal to you. But if you're not going out with the expectations that you're going to get something, you may not, or it may not be meant for you. There's also a possibility that there may not be anything there. It could be residual, and you're not there at the right time when the residual haunting is happening. But I do believe that if they're getting something every single time, they're expecting something every time. So everything becomes paranormal no matter what. I'm not saying that it's not, because I don't want bad rep on this. I'm saying there is a possibility that that it isn't paranormal and that you're just thinking everything is, because you are setting yourself up to believe this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's so.
No, that's fair enough. So.
What about Kristen? We keep forgetting.
Chris, Kristen, no Kirsten.
Wow. Kristen, you have been officially renamed.
What have I been renamed as?
Margaret.
Wow.
You know Margaret. Okay,
Margaret.
What's your opinion?
Hey, Margaret, what's your take?
What on whether things we get on investigations are totally real or not?
Whether people that go out investigating and get something every time is real or not.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to think that if people are going out and they're getting something every single time, there's got to be some sort of something fishy going on there. Like, for example, if you watch the mainstream TV shows, they get something literally every single time. And they often get like really big activity every single time. That can't be possible. I remember watching a TV show with Nadine, and there was something that came out in the background, and we were like, "That must be a person in the background." You know what I'm on about?
Oh, it is, yeah. It's absolutely 100% someone in a lycra suit crawling along the floor.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that? They're like, oh, there's something behind you, and then the person stands in front of the camera where it is. Oh, what? Instead of going to investigate, you hear a noise or something, you go look on the camera. Oh, can you show us on the screen? No, you go look, don't you? Hey, look.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Trevor? I've just seen something moving down there. All right, well, let me see it on your camera then. Rather than, oh, come on, Trev, let's go. Sorry.
That's annoys these things, and you can tell that it's set up, or you're watching, might not be a TV program, maybe another team is doing a video, whatever, and there's somebody making a noise. They could be walking through bushes or standing on a drain or something like that, stepping on it, tapping on the ground on a drain, whatever.
See,
and
we noticed on our live, during one part of our live at the Royal Arcade a few weeks ago, that during a part where we were hearing a noise, that actually Robbie from Haunted Scotland, who was investigating with us, he was actually stood on a metal drain. So now looking back at it, it definitely wasn't paranormal, and it would have been echoing through the pipes underneath, of the drain system. But at the time, of course, we all we heard was like metal or like a banging down like the hall. So at the time, of course, we thought it was paranormal, but when we went back and watched the evidence, he is stood on a metal drain, so we can't conclude that was paranormal at all.
The best part of investigation for me is not to capture it, it's trying to debunk it. Looking for drafts of CO2. No, then you can't find the reason to debunk it, the capture fields.
That's exactly what I've just said, that at the time we thought it was, but looking back on the video, it definitely isn't. And as you know, Scott's watched quite a few of my things. I love debunking things. I do debunk things, and I will debunk things. And I always look for a natural before the supernatural. Mm-hmm. That's just the way I investigate. I don't automatically think something is paranormal. That's just me.
But you need to debunk as much as possible. You can't just jump on the paranormal wagon. And, as Andy says, when you look at like I said, that laser grid capture we got in here way last year, it was Sarah that noticed it, and she noticed it on the Sunday, and we looked at every possible thing in here that could have, made the capture. It's on It's on the YouTube channel, folks that want to see it. But we could not find a single thing
Because
that caused that.
It's too big to be Miami. It's too skinny to be Scott. It doesn't walk with a limp, so that rules me out. And it's a human figure, it's not cat-like, so that's...
And the other fact is, it was caught on a locked-off camera, but we were doing a live at the time, so we had the webcam footage as well that showed the entire room. There was nobody else in that room. And then with the footage for the locked-off camera that got the capture. So we could not work this out with this thing. So it does give you a bit of a buzz, you know.
And it's not somebody walking past outside because the curtains at that point were longer than the actual window, so it blocked everything out.
Mm-hmm. But you need to sit down and debunk it in audio as well. Jennifer's a great audio expert. I know I don't use that one.
I'm not an expert. I just understand audio.
Our team is always told, if you make a noise, if your stomach rumbles or something like that, if you move your feet, you will hear us say, you know, that was me moving, that was me, that was my stomach, that was something. Normally Kristen, but she always does say that's my stomach, that's my throat gurgling, you know, that was me shifting to the side. Or the recent on the one we did, the live we did, my bag was rubbing on the wall, and I instantly said, that's my bag, you know. We do things that way. But I'm also working on 2 videos, or I will be working on 2 videos shortly. One is a debunking video to debunk things that we have thought were paranormal that actually aren't paranormal. And also I'm going to be working on a intelligent responses video. So a video proving mind, like when we've asked questions through Necro or Spirit Box and we've actually got intelligent responses through, I'm going to be making a video of that because I think that would be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, we did a live something the same last week. It was Andy Murphy that broke down one of the clips I sent to him, and we done a live about it, and I think we gave it 8 or 9 intelligent responses. Andy will tell us anyway. But Jennifer, I'm going to use the word expert because I think you're an expert on. But the first time we did Caldwell, when Jennifer listened to the footage, she heard so much that we had, you know, we didn't have a clue about.
Well, I didn't watch the footage. I listened to the footage. So, and then so to be fair, I didn't watch the footage first. I listened first, and then I watched it with listening. Then I took the audio off and just watched, and then I went back to listening again. And yeah. So.
And then I done it after Jennifer and I spoke. I lay in the bed. And with the headphones on, and I didn't bother looking at I just closed the lid of my phone, closed my phone there, and just left it running. So I was sitting in pitch darkness listening, and the amount of bits and pieces that I heard was, you know.
But it's also other people's like opinions, because like Scott, like I said to Scott the other day, I watched the Caldwell, and I said to Scott, oh, it could possibly be this, it could possibly be that, like. I like if someone listens to my stuff and says, oh, well, it could, you know, have you thought it could be this, it could be that? And I like other people's input like that, you know.
Well, yeah, of course. You know how you guys were talking about shows being not debunking? Well, there was a show on a while ago called Fact or Fake. Paranormal Files. I actually have met I met them. Well, Murphy, I've met him and his wife. Anyway, so what I loved about the show is that they went and tried to recreate what they saw. Mm-hmm. They didn't automatically think it was paranormal. They didn't automatically think it was some kind of creature. They actually tried to debunk the thing first and then recreate. And if they weren't able to recreate, they would actually come with the conclusion, okay, is this possible or not? I love that show.
We've done that exact thing. One of the first paranormal things we ever caught is a shadow figure. I've showed Andy's seen the photo. Loads of people have seen the photo. It's on our page. And it's a shadow figure stood right behind me as I'm leaning over a bar to light up because to get into behind the bar, you had to go out into the hallway into another door. So I was lighting up the doorway for my friend to come through. We weren't even investigating the place. We were just looking around the place, being nosy, you know, because it was an abandoned hotel. And there is a shadow figure stood right behind me. And it's undeniable what it is. It's like 7 foot tall. It's huge. You know, it has a shape. It's a silhouette of a man, a big man. But there's no shape to it. If you zoom in, it's like swirls around it rather than like smooth edges.
Yeah, like
I will show you the photo in a second, if that's okay, Scott, if I can find it. But as soon as we found the figure, we went straight back and took photos of all angles of it. We tried to recreate the photo. Mm-hmm. The only male member of our team is Sam. And he's about 1.5 feet too short to be the figure, and he's not the same build as the figure. There's no trees in the way. There's no bushes in the way. You know, we've got every single angle of the bar and photos from the same angle of the bar, and there's just no way it isn't there. I'll try and find the photo if you give me a second.
We'll just talk amongst ourselves.
That is actually awesome. I love the fact that you took it that way.
It's a photograph that you cannot debunk. Oh, it's a really one. When we went, I'm not going to say any place we were. It was an old abandoned mansion, and after we came out, I was standing taking photographs, and the place is in the middle of nowhere, and it was totally pitch black. I took some photographs, and it was later on, after we were looking back at the photographs, we noticed a tiny light in one of the windows.
I know.
Sorry, Sarah noticed. Tiny light. No, there's no glass in these windows. The building's just a shell. So it wasn't, what's it called? Light flare, lens flare, something like that. So there was there was no reason for that light to be there. And we'd just been in the building. Laura was there that night, and there was not one soul in that. The place was deserted, so it's not if it was somebody inside the building with a torch or a candle or something, because there was nobody there.
So
let me know when you can see.
It's on.
Yeah, we can
this
see.
This is the picture here. Oh, I hate Facebook. You can't zoom in. Hold on. Well, 1 second, talk amongst yourselves.
Now I think we're all fascinated on what you're doing on the computer, going, what are you doing? Click, 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 click.
Yep, I'm just gonna, sorry, that's my
dog.
Where, here, I can be able to zoom in on it here. So this is the picture here that we took. There's me leading over the bar. You see my friends coming into the bar here. And then we get this guy in the background.
Oh.
Do you see
it?
Proper
zoom in on it. You can see like the swirls and how bubbly
it looks.
Like
the swirls around it. But you can see all the detail. Look, you can even see the grain in the wood here.
You can see
the tiles. You can see the tiles there. You can see my reflection in the mirror there. But him, that window there is really high. And it's not next to the bar either. It's close. So this is a picture of what we got. And it's literally right behind me. I just didn't even know it was there.
There doesn't look like a rhyme or reason to how anyone can even cast a shadow like that.
No, there's not. I do have the other pictures of the. Let's see. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, I'm technically charged.
No, that's okay. We all are from time to time.
Do I have
that's an interesting shot, because
I will find the picture of the actual bar, and I will share it to you in a second.
There's not a lot of room over there, is there? Where that shadow was?
No, I need to send the picture to my PC because it's not on. It's on my other external hard drive. So talk amongst yourselves while I sort this out.
No.
We can use this chance for Laura to tell us about the man or shadow she saw with the top hat on.
Oh.
Top hat.
A long time ago.
Tell us the story.
I was living in a flat when I was about 18.
That's a long time
a
ago.
very long time ago, and I was engaged to a man at the time, and we were sitting in our bedroom just watching a film actually, and the dog that we had at the time was going a bit mad and actually at the bedroom door. So I did the only logical thing and sent the guy that I was with at the time, and he opened the bedroom door. But as he opened the bedroom door, the dog backed away from the door, and we both could see a guy, like he was about maybe 7 foot tall, wearing a kind of black top hat, go right round the whole hallway, and then came over to our bedroom door. And at that point, I just shut the door and actually nearly died. I've never experienced anything like that ever.
Was this before you met Craig?
Yes.
Because you just pretty much described Craig.
Yeah, I know.
Are you sure it wasn't Craig
It
and
was
you've been
not
on
Craig.
the sauce?
And actually, the guy that I was with, I'm still friends to this day with, and he'll verify that story for me.
I think it was Craig.
It was
And I'm
definitely
also-
not Craig.
Well, you're still with Craig to this day.
I found the pictures.
Found them? Awesome.
Weird.
So let me know when you're ready.
Go for it.
Can you see it?
Add it back in, Scott.
Not yet. Oh, that was loud.
Scott's on the tech now. It might take a while.
Okay.
Sam's got one. So this is Sam. This is the only male member of our team.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in again? Or not?
Yeah, sorry. I was going to
No,
show
that's
you the
all right.
bar.
Okay.
If you click
All right.
right circle, it'll
Yeah, I'm looking. I still see this. Okay.
Where
that shadow was is impossible for a person to be in that location.
they oh sorry, that's a right arcade. And this is sorry, that's my holiday. Hey guys, like my holiday pictures here. It's cool, isn't it?
Nadine's photo album.
Where is it? I know.
You lost it.
I'm looking for the bar. Okay, so here, this area here is where the shadow is stood. Right there.
But
There's
if
you can see there's nothing blocking it. There's no
well, it's not just that. But if you're
light.
your position of the shadow figure picture, if it's where it is, he's standing in the middle of that part and not on the other side of it. So that's what I'm saying. Where that is, it looks like he'd be not behind it, but in the middle of it.
Right.
Is what I'm to me. Mind you, that's how I'm viewing it. That's just my opinion. It just looks like it's way too close for it to be if it was on the other side of what you just showed us.
See, I thought it was someone stood on the other side of the bar.
Right. But when you look down at the bottom here and you see this the juxtaposition of the shadowing and you see how close it is to the camera angle, it's almost as if it's in the middle of it versus on the other side of that bar.
Right.
True, yeah.
It's making my mind go, what?
Just,
Nadine D is asking, didn't you get a boy's face in this area too?
Yes, we did. Okay, so yeah, that's the next part of it. We also got on the same area. Just wait for that photo to load there. But you can see the bar anyway. I do have photos of every single angle of the bar. Yeah, so when we went back to bloody hell, stop sharing. There we go. When we went back to investigate the bar, because of course we caught this figure, like, what the hell is this? And we put the spirit box. We had the spirit box on, and we put a cat ball on the bar, just exactly where the figure was, or where I think the figure was. And basically it growled at me, and do you remember I said I tell things off? Yeah. So basically I told it off like a child. I literally did. I wasn't having none of it. Like, it growled at me. I was like, who are you growling at, you know? And then so in the video I'm going, look, I apologize. If you accept my apology, make the ball flash. And the spirit box says, just get out. And then
it's so
the ball
creepy when it says it as
flashes.
well.
Literally a second later, the ball starts to flash on the same spot on the bar as where that figure was. So yeah, we did.
It's the way it sounded as well when it said that.
Yeah.
Like it's such a guttural tone.
Mhm. It's like, just get out. It sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger, to be honest.
Spirits don't seem to like you, Nadine. Why is it?
They love me. You got it all wrong. You got it all wrong, okay? They love me. They're telling everyone else to get out.
But you know, if you're kind of left out, I mean, when we were doing investigations, everybody else, like, so we went to a castle one night, there was 5 of us, and everybody else seen this, what they described as a white mist shape going by what used to be, you know, windows or a doorway. I've seen diddly squat. Lenny Caldwell and quite a few, the team says that it's seen like say a dark shadow down in the basement. Again, I seen diddly squat. So, you know, I was feeling kind of left out, you know what I mean?
I get told I was going to be murdered, you didn't. I get told I was a two-faced bitch, you didn't. I've been told I have to die, you haven't. I've been called fat, you haven't.
Well, no better spirit. You know.
I did be a spirit.
So, you've had loads of dogs abuse after spirits. They don't like you either.
They really don't.
You and Nadine are quite similar that way. They don't seem to like you to.
They just
Maybe
don't like
it's
strong ladies.
Maybe. But they just don't want to show themselves to me.
But I don't know who it was that called me a two-faced.
Bitch, Nadine swore, I've lost count how many pennies are in the swear jar.
I don't know what I done to that spirit, can I?
She swore. So you're
That
allowed
was your
to.
husband that said that, actually.
That's right.
He had the earphones on doing the thingy. That thing.
What's it called?
I don't know.
The Atkins method.
That thing.
Um,
And he just had to get Sarah two-faced bitch. And I was like,
That's right.
give me.
is it better to antagonise a spirit to get her, it'll be passive towards them?
Nope.
I know my
We
thoughts on
do, we
Don't
do
antagonize.
not. We do not provoke. We don't provoke. I will tell a spirit off if it shouts at me or growls at me. I will tell it off. But I do 100% do not believe in provoking. We have got so much good evidence without the slightest bit of provoking. I just don't understand why you do it. We went investigating with the team on Halloween, me and Sam, and all they do was provoking it. They were literally sat there like being totally disrespectful to it. Going, "Oh, is that all you can do? What you're saying to me?" Yeah, you know, they were just totally provoking, trying to get reactions, and that's all they're doing, and it's a bad investigation to me because they're literally trying whatever they can do to get a reaction.
No, I agree. The only time I've ever had to do a provoke is because we had been there before and we were getting stuff. So when I came back, I decided to act like they were acting towards us. So we started the provocation, which actually got more them actually talking to us more, because that's how those spirits were talking. But we didn't start it at the beginning, the first time we investigated. We only did it the second time because they were, I guess that's what they wanted. They wanted someone to talk like them. I was like, dirty is like, okay, pirates talking to pirates, sailors talking to sailors. I'm like, okay, we'll talk like you. I don't normally do this, but okay.
Yeah. Like during our live in the Royal Arcade the other week, like Sam got sick of it threatening me, saying I was going to die, and yeah, we went through all that, right? And Sam just got fed up of it, and he went, "Well, if you are as powerful as you say you are, you know, do something." And then this heavy safe door behind us slammed shut, right? And also with the pony the other day when it said I'm a demon, well, it goes, you know, if you're a demon, you know, touch the pony and the pony falls over. That's kind of the only provoking we really do, apart from me telling them off if they're being naughty.
Well, yeah,
being naughty.
Situation to situation ideal. I mean, I obviously none of us like to go in and provoke you right away because that's going to get you nowhere, or they're going to be pissed off and then they're going to really not care.
I mean, like we're saying with possessions, people that, you know, do that shit will end up with an attachment, not the way they want it. I do believe in attachments that way. Of course, if you're going in, pissing someone off, you know, it's like going into a pub, starting a fight with the biggest guy there and expecting him not to level you.
You know, my major pet peeve misconception is when people like to tell me, well, if you go to a cemetery, you're going to come back with an attachment. And I'm like, okay, how and why are they haunting a cemetery 24/7?
Yeah.
So that's my favorite misconception.
See, with cemeteries with me, I do believe. Oh, sorry, Scott.
No, carry on, you didn't your show.
Sorry. With cemeteries, Very much the same. I do believe, obviously, spirits are in cemeteries. Some spirits are, some are still attached to their bodies, but not all. I think a lot of spirits, if they were to have not moved on to whatever you believe they move on to, would be attached to their home or their loved ones or somewhere where they'd want to be, rather than being attached to their body in a cemetery. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, I do believe there's ghosts in cemeteries, of course, but I don't believe it's fully hot, like full of, every single gravestone's just got a ghost attached to it and stuff like that. I just don't believe that. I do believe there is stuff there, but not.
Right, but these people who make me cringe go, well, something's there going to follow me home. I'm like, one, why would they want to follow you home, and what the hell did you do to piss them off?
Yeah.
like,
See you
okay.
later, Andy.
I'll give you a buzz in about 3/4 of an hour, buddy. We'll have a wee convo then about the. But I know what you mean, about the cemeteries, graveyards, the only place that grave friars, for even though the lack of activity and evidence we've had there, when you walk into grave friars, you can feel what you've been, Nadine, Kristen, you can feel the atmosphere. It doesn't matter if it's day or night, whatever time it is, it doesn't matter. But as soon as you step in the gates, you can feel there's a different atmosphere.
Well, look at the first time we went. We weren't even investigating. We just went up for a drive and had all the way around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think cemeteries and graveyards have a different atmosphere because that's a human thing. That is, that is a place where there's death, or where there's dead people, or where there's sadness, and everyone associates. No one, hopefully no one associates graveyards with in different cultures they do, of course, Mexico and stuff, Day of the Dead and stuff like that. But no one really associates in our culture graveyards or cemeteries with happiness. There's nothing associated like that. So you are brought up from being very, very little to associate graves with sadness.
Oh,
and
I have a tale for you,
Nadine. How it
Nadine.
works, So you're going to go into a cemetery. You're going to feel sad automatically because you're conditioned that way. Sorry.
Can I tell you something, Nadine? It's something kind of happens. I don't know. This has happened in America. It's happened in like the 1920s, 1930s. People wanted to make it happy in a cemetery, so they would picnic in the cemetery with their loved ones. Yeah, there are pictures of people picnicking in cemeteries.
I bet that didn't take off.
It took off for maybe a few years. They tried bringing it back, I think, in certain places, but they did try. Yeah. So anyways, it's because you're saying the whole sadness, but yeah, for a short while, there were people picnicking in cemeteries and trying to make it a happy thing instead of a sad thing. But
yeah. And I think also in Greyfriars, most people know the story of Greyfriars Bobby, and that in its own self is so sad, So I think Greyfriars is associated with a lot of sadness.
Greyfriars has got loads of history. Covenanters, the plague pits, the plague graves, Greyfriars Bobby. Which is historically accurate anyway.
No, don't go ruining Greyfriars Bobby for me, okay? We'll have none of that. I will leave this chat. If you start ruining Greyfriars Bobby for me, I'm off.
I'm not ruining anything. But no, I've been in many a graveyard in Kirkyard, but I always feel Greyfriars is just totally different. I feel it as soon as I walk in, that it's as if you're walking into a crowded room. That's the only way I can describe it. And it does kind of, you can feel you're kind of back in history kind of thing. It's when you go to Pendle as well. As soon as you enter, like New Church or whatever in Pendle, you do feel as if you're way, way back, hundreds of years ago. It's just this atmosphere you get. And Greyfriars is the same.
I totally understand what you mean. I didn't really get that at Greyfriars, but there's a cemetery here. Every other cemetery, and I'm normally okay, but there's a cemetery here, Carmel Road. We've done investigations on it, and every single time I've walked in that cemetery in all my life, I get vibes from it, bad vibes. You know, so I do understand what you're saying.
And that's how you know, there's evil spirits in Greyfriars and they've been attacked X amount of times, you know, not inside the prison, in the actual kirkyard. I know there is documented reports of attacks in the prison. But people say, oh, I was attacked in Greyfriars. I've been in Greyfriars many a time, all hours, in the pitch black, on my own, right away down the bottom of it, and I've never felt negative, scary, note.
That's what I'm saying. When I was in Greyfriars, I didn't feel anything like that. Is what I mean. That's what I mean when I say I don't feel it. You know, I didn't feel anything negative there.
I think it's that I love Greyfriars. It's my favorite. It's one of my favourite locations. But I think there's too much hype that surrounds it. You know, I think you get these, especially new teams, no disrespecting them, but you get them going in and they're expecting to see flying headstones and, you know, headless horsemen riding about the place.
It didn't help that they made a movie called Greyfriars Bobby in the 1960s or something.
I love that film. I love it.
It's great, but it didn't help. It doesn't help the paranormal field, unfortunately.
No,
it
doesn't.
It's a wonderful movie, but yeah.
You will absolutely ruin my childhood here, so be very, very careful. I don't have very many happy memories.
I love the movie. It's just
Greyfriars Bobby is one of happy.
Okay. You have to understand from the American point of view, people who have no idea what the hell Greyfriars Bobby is, except for by the movie, and then they start hearing the paranormal stuff. So I kid you. Oh my God, my head was hurting. My head was hurting so hard that people assume that the only haunting that's happening at Greyfriars is the dog.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know. No, I've never been there, but I've read enough stories to know better, of course. But this is what I get to hear. It's so
I've
sad.
seen nothing about Greyfriars and Bobby. I've just before we wind it up, ladies, I'm going to Chris comment. Chris now when graveyards are built above ground level, when you're walking at ground level around the outside, I can imagine the coffin's being at the same level next to where I'm walking, Richardson Cemetery in the cemetery.
Go to Louisiana.
Yeah,
there's about graves everywhere, but they have to because of the water table.
There is an
Rouse from Craig saying that we've been at cemetery. It's actually just along the road for us, and you're walking along the street, and the graveyard's kind of up there. You know, you need to get in. Well, you can't get into the graveyard; it's all locked up. But if you were to go in, you need to go upstairs to get into it. In fact, the grass is away up here when you're walking along the street level. So you do wonder how far down the coffins are if the grass is away up here above you when you're walking past. It's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, but just because the grass is that level doesn't mean that the graves are that level. The graves were dug from above that, so they'd be 6 foot down. They'd still be 6 foot down.
I would say the grass between the street and the grass.
6 foot. No, it's bigger than that.
It's about it's a good 10 or 12 feet up.
Yeah, so you probably are walking past them.
I'll tell you the next time I'll get a picture and I'll send it to you because it is quite, you know, like up there.
It's about 2 Craigs.
About 2 Craigs.
That's how we measure in Scotland. 2 Craigs. Measuring Craigs.
And everywhere in the world.
I get my son on here because then you have my son whose name is Craig, and then there you got to Craig. Oh, it's interesting.
That's how we measure things in Scotland. We don't use inches or feet. We use Craigs. How big is your sitting room?
By the way, Scott, my Craig says hello, and that he's hoping to be with me again in January at some point.
Good stuff. You can pass on our regards.
I will.
Kathy says that she used to go to school trips to cemeteries in London.
Oh, not fair. That's so cool.
I know, that is cool.
Oh, right, I can't.
He's
I
a
must
boring
start. I must start.
Oh my gosh. Have
That would be good.
we been talking for 2 hours? Holy smokes.
I'm
I was
just going to wind it up. No, Jennifer, tell Craig the regards anyway, and we're looking for a better get his butt on here in January.
He's Nadine, my son is my cameraman.
so my sister's my cameraman. Person.
Just before we wind it up, Nadine. Just before we wind up, Nadine and Kristen, if you want to plug your channel and your group and stuff, fire away.
Give us a shout. You can get us at Sundown Paranormal UK on Facebook, Clapper, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, of course. And you can get me on Instagram at Nadine_SPUK and Nadine Raper on Facebook. For my personal one, no creeps or perverts, because you will be blocked immediately. Just so you know.
Immediately. That means right away.
Well, immediately.
Toronto.
As soon as I hear, are you single? You're blocked. Just done. Take care, Dee.
Thanks very much, Dee. So that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks to everybody who's come into the chat. Thanks to Nadine and Kristen and Jennifer for across the water.
Say their name right.
Thank you to everyone.
That's no back. You're very welcome, and thanks and Laura.
Yeah, I'm still here.
We're back in Monday.
Bye, Sarah.
I'm here.
She's off camera.
Are you wanting me and Kristen to stay behind?
Aye, if you just say hang on for a wee second or two, that'd be great. Thanks very much, Dee, Marnie, Margaret, Kathy, Craig, and everybody else who came into chat. So we'll be back Monday with Kelly Ennis, and Tuesday we've got Ghost Sisters back in. And then next Thursday we have a big Xmas special. What you two laughing at?
Because I said Lawrence at once.
I think you got Tweedledee and Tweedledum back there.
I'll stick in the Facebook page. It's a waste of time talking when these two are in the same room. It really is. It's a waste of time breathing here. But we've got lots coming up next week, folks. So we'll leave it there. These two are getting kicked out. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.